What's going on, guys? Welcome to my match recap and player ratings for yesterday's game. Brentford 1, Manchester United 3. First half, I thought we were really bad. Second half, I don't feel like we were massively better. I feel like we were more clinical, hence we getting the goals, but I still don't see a style of play. We were just more clinical and got some goals. Still let one in near the end of the game as well, which was disappointing. But 3 points at their place is a big win. I don't care if they're newly promoted or not. It's a tough place to go. Trouble is, I don't agree with the team he picked or the substitutes and the timings of them. So even though we got the 3 points, I feel like it was made redundant by the lineup and the players he picked and brought on as subs and then taking Ronaldo off when he did and Maguire coming on, and we'll get into that in a minute anyway. But yeah, it was a bit of a mixed bag because we did get the 3 points, but we didn't play well. And it's all right winning when you're not playing well on the odd occasion, but we haven't played well and had a style of play for, it seems like, years now. So for me, I'd rather watch us play entertaining, exciting football and not get the results, because I'm bored of just nicking wins and it sugarcoating the performances. Brentford did have their chances a lot in the first half, and David De Gea kept us in the game, and if it weren't for his saves in the first half, we wouldn't have gone on to win the game. So again, a mixed one. We win, but there's still no style of play. I don't agree with McTominay and Fred in the midfield. There's still problems, a lot of problems. Obviously, Ronaldo coming off, really annoyed that he come off. I don't understand why he came off. There was no need for Maguire to come on. And with all this going on, Donny can't get on the pitch. Absolute shambles. Not surprising anymore. He needs to go, but that just sums it up. Let's get into the ratings. David De Gea, I'd give a 7. First half, phenomenal. Second half didn't have as much to do, but first half he wins us that game, basically. So 7 for De Gea. Delo, I thought, started very well and bright. Had a shot at one point that swerved just outside of the post. The keeper would dive into it, but very good effort from him and wasn't far wide. As the game went on, I thought he did okay, but he went a bit quiet. But I do prefer him night and day between him and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I prefer him much more, and I was screaming for him to get him back on loan when he was at AC Milan last year. I don't think we should have let him go in the first place. So I'm glad he's getting his chance, and for me, he deserves to stay in the team. I'd give him a 6, just above average to low. Lindelof, I'd also give a 6 too. I thought he was a bit more involved than Varane with key blocks and tackles at times. I think Varane was good, but I think Lindelof was a little bit better yesterday. So I'd give Lindelof a 6. Varane, I'd give an average of a 5. Don't think he was poor, but don't think he was excellent. He was solid, did a job, went unnoticed, but that's what you want from your centre-back, because you don't want to be giving him man of the matches each week, because that means that there's too much pressure on your defence. So for me, he went about his job quietly, but successfully. So Varane, I'd give an average of a 5. Tellez, I'd also give an average to. I feel like he tried to attack at times, did fail to get in the game at times, but I don't think he was poor either, so I think a 5 is justifiable for him. McTominay, I'd give a 6 to, above average. I do think it was one of his better games yesterday. His passing was a bit better yesterday. I felt like he did the box-to-box midfield role better, and that's what we need to play him as. Had a good shot at one point that got parried. Yeah, I think he had an above-average game yesterday, but let's not get carried away. I think he was better than Fred, but we still need better in that midfield. But McTominay yesterday, good enough job. A 6 for me. Fred, I'd give an average to. Gets an assist, but I think defensively he was all over the place again. Looked dodgy. There was one point where he tried to clear a ball out of his box with a bicycle kick, basically, and I think he cleared it slightly but didn't fully, and it was just like, why are you doing a bicycle kick out in your own box? Just clear the ball. Don't try to be fancy with it. And it's just things like that with Fred. Gets an assist, but I give him an average because he got the assist. If not, it would have been a 3 or a 4, but I'll give him a 5, but not great from Fred. Greenwood, I'd give an average to as well. I think he was fortunate to start the game because he's been very selfish in the last few games he's played, and decision-making at times has been poor for me. I think he had an average game, to be honest. Not the worst, but not the best. So average for Greenwood. Failed to get too many shots on goal or involved in the attack too much. So an average for Greenwood with a 5. Bruno, I'd give a 6, just above average. For a lot of the game, I thought he was very bad, one of the worst on the pitch. But then he got involved a bit and was involved in a couple of the goals. He's going to be involved and people will be like, yeah, look at his stats and like he's involved in the goals. But just because you get an assist or a goal in games doesn't mean you've had a great game. And I think I might be a little bit kind to him by giving him an above average, because I think his overall performance was probably average, even though he's involved in a couple of the goals. For me, his decision making, and I saw a lot of passes that he forced and lost the ball with. So I might be being a little bit generous there, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he was involved in a couple of the goals. But yeah, I feel like I'm being a bit kind there. But Bruno, I'd give a 6. Alanga, not his best. I thought his passing was off at times. First touch at one point, he lost the ball when he shouldn't have. Did score a goal, obviously. It was a well-taken goal, the one he scored. Sort of controlled it in the air, almost like a volley, and then scored. So took his goal very well. But there was other parts of his game that lacked a bit yesterday, and I feel like his performance previous to this game was better. But still not terrible. I'd give him an average of a 5. Ronaldo, I'd also give an average 2 of a 5. Wasn't involved too much. Didn't see a lot of the ball, but I still don't feel like he was terrible. So he tries to bring other people into play. The thing that was annoying about this with Ronaldo was that he was in Luke Shaw's position at one point, or Tellez for yesterday, like at left back, dropping so deep just to be involved, and I don't want to see that from our striker. But sometimes that forces you because you're frustrated, and then obviously he gets substituted by Ranić. I don't think he should have been subbed. Wasn't having a great game, but I still don't think he should have been subbed. Rashford comes on and gets a goal, which Ronaldo might have got if he had been on the pitch in that position. I don't think Ronaldo should have gone off. So for me, I'd give him an average. Don't think he had a great game, but wasn't terrible. And then the subs, we had Maguire, Rashford and Matic. Rashford and Maguire coming on. I don't think Rashford should be anywhere near the squad at the moment. So even the fact that he's on the bench is a joke at the moment. He comes on, yes, he does well to score his goal, but other than that, he goes unnoticeable for me. Maguire, average when he came on. I don't understand why he came on. They're obviously trying to worm him back into the team because he's the captain, but there was no need for him to play yesterday. Phil Jones played better than him when he played. When Eric Bailly comes back, I'd fancy him, Varane, Lindelof and Jones ahead of Maguire. But because we've made him captain, we've shot ourselves in the foot. And he's going to be back in the team probably for the West Ham game. So average for me, though, for Maguire. And Matic, come on with very little time left, and I'd give him an average as well. Ranić, look, I think he got the starting lineup wrong, going with McTominay and Fred. Go with one of them, but I feel like someone else has to be in there with him. I thought Pogba would be available. He wasn't. Whether that's fitness or whatnot, I'm not sure. But I don't think you can play them both together. We get the result, but for me, they're both problematic, especially together. So yeah, I feel he got that wrong. Greenwood, I feel, shouldn't have started. I think Sancho should have been involved. And look, I'm not mad at the other decisions, but I do think he got the McTominay and Fred thing wrong and the Greenwood thing wrong. And the Rashford and Maguire, there's no need for them to come on. No need at all, and especially because Donny's on the bench, sitting and witnessing this, thinking, so Maguire can go on, Rashford could go on, who's been terrible, yet I can't see 1 second, let alone a minute or something. It's a joke. Donny's obviously not got a future, we know that, but this just sums up the mess that the club is at the moment. So for me, Ranić, even though we get the result, I think he got a lot wrong yesterday, and whether or not it's coming from above him or it's his own decisions and choices, we don't know. But I'm frustrated because when he got appointed, we were all excited, and now I think a lot of us feel like we've been cheated again, and it's not what we thought it was going to be. So yeah, frustrated. I'm going to give him a 3. Bit harsh, you might think, but I don't think it is, because I feel like he got some of the lineup and the starting 11 wrong. 2 of the subs out of the 3 that he did wrong for me. But I'm not surprised by what's going on at the club. So, but I'm going to be honest, yes, we get the 3 points, but for me, he has to be questioned on that, so he gets a low rating for me with a 3. West Ham up next, obviously, tough game. It'll be 10 times as hard as this game was. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see for that. I might do my lineup for that game possibly, but tough game though. Expected really tough game by them. They're playing excellently at the moment. A lot of their players are on form. Even though it's at Old Trafford, it doesn't seem to matter these days. We struggle. So I'm intrigued. We should go into it with confidence, but we don't have the fluidity and the chemistry, I don't think, of teams like West Ham. But on paper, we have individuals better. So we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. I mean, I didn't think we'd get 3 points in this one, but we did. I have to have a think about it to see how I think the outcome will be for that game, but it's really not going to be easy. They're in the top 10 for a reason, West Ham, and look, we'll see what happens, but I'm not feeling good about it. But let me know your thoughts of this game in the comment, guys. Your ratings as well. Man of the match would be David De Gea. The first half saves keep us in the game and allow us to win the game in the second half. Without David De Gea, we probably don't get a result. So David De Gea is my man of the match. Leave your comments. Let me know who you thought was your man of the match and your ratings in the comments. And I'll speak to you guys soon.